It has been yet another year of tragedy across the country. At least 635 mass shootings so far this year. Now, House Democrats are working to stop potential shooters before they act with the just introduced Identifying Mass Shooters Act. This legislation is directing the National Institute of Justice to collect, study, and analyze online content created by mass shooters in an effort to early identify potential mass shooters. The Identifying Mass Shooters Act was introduced by Congressman Mfume, and he joins me now. Congressman, it is an honor to have you here. You know, in our intro, we did talk about the fact that mass shooters often have online red flags. That's the reason why this bill has been introduced. Within it, it states that perpetrators of mass shootings have utilized various online channels to declare their intent to commit violence through manifestos, blog posts, social media posts, and direct messages prior to committing acts of terror. Do you think early identification by way of red flags on social media is a realistic method to prevent future mass shootings?
I absolutely do, Katie. We have the information and we continue to get it after one of these mass shootings takes place. And so there are at least 600 different instances where the Justice Department and others have collected posts, data, backdoor information, and other things that really create a digital footprint of these individuals before they go out and act. And I just think that to the extent that we can work to further identify them before they act, the better we are. You know, when you go back to Sandy Hook and you look at all of the mass shootings that have occurred since then, all the way up to Uvalde and Buffalo and the Pittsburgh synagogue incident and others, it's important, I think, to get in front of it. Now, it's not going to cure the situation because we're in a society where guns are too available, particularly assault guns. But it will empower the Justice Department and law enforcement to be able to take early steps in identifying them and searching and making sure that they're not applying for weapons and being able to do what they have to do from surveillance perspectives within the constitutional rights of everybody to make sure that we've got a real clear eye on these individuals before they act.
Was it a conscious decision on your part, Congressman, to not include, perhaps, or go even farther within the bill to include tools, investigative tools, perhaps, for law enforcement to be able to take action once they've done some type of review of a potential mass shooter's social media accounts, for example?
We think that law enforcement has the tools already if they're able to put together a profile that signifies a potential mass shooter. We think they already have it in their toolkit. This is going to make its way through the House and through the Senate, and there may be amendments or clarifying language. But the key, I think, more than anything else, is to get it started and to make sure that innocent lives are not subject to an attack because they're in a soft target or because they're on a school bus or in a school or at a church or synagogue, that the real difference is being able to take a step now to try to see who they are before they act.
Is there a hole or a void that needs to be filled by this bill? Is there an absence of these types of studies that are being done?
Well, I think there is. And look, I was in the Congress in 1994. We passed a ban on assault weapons. It was only a 10-year plan and ban because it had to be a compromise. We couldn't get Republicans who were beholden to the NRA to go beyond 10 years. We believe that the Congress, in its infinite wisdom, would eventually, at the end of that 10-year period, make it permanent. 1994 to 2004 came and went, and there was not an effort since then until this year when the House took some action. So it's important for all of us to recognize that I know, the viewers know, it's just a matter of days or weeks before we hear about one of these senseless killings with innocent people and bloodshed and families being destroyed. So we have to find a way, even if it's a small step, to start trying to be proactive, to search out and to get a sense of who these persons are, what they're posting, why they've left this digital footprint, and what's to be done with it by law enforcement.
Congressman Mfume, thank you so much for being here tonight. And that does it for me. The readout, thank you, sir. The readout is up after the break.